World War II was a global conflict of unprecedented scale. It raged from 1939 to 1945, engulfing nations across Europe, Asia, and Africa. Millions were caught in the crossfire, facing unimaginable horrors as totalitarian regimes threatened to reshape the world order. The United States, initially hesitant to join the fray, watched with growing concern as the forces of fascism advanced. The unprovoked attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 shattered America's isolationism. The nation was united in its resolve to defeat the Axis powers. The United States, with its vast industrial might and unwavering spirit, would play a pivotal role in securing the Allied victory. The road to victory was long and arduous, paved with sacrifice and determination. From the beaches of Normandy to the islands of the Pacific, American soldiers fought with courage and tenacity. On the home front, men and women worked tirelessly to support the war effort, their collective efforts forging an unbreakable bond between the battlefield and the home front. The story of how the United States won World War II is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is a story of courage, sacrifice, and unwavering belief in the fight for freedom. Even before the fateful day at Pearl Harbor, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt recognized the growing threat posed by Germany and Japan. He understood that the fate of democracy hung in the balance. Roosevelt, in a fireside chat, called upon the nation to become the arsenal of democracy, supplying much-needed resources to our allies already engaged in the fight. American factories, once humming with peacetime production, were quickly retooled for war. Tanks, planes, and ships rolled off assembly lines at an astonishing rate. The nation's industrial might, bolstered by the tireless efforts of American workers, became a critical factor in the Allied war effort. Women, stepping out of their traditional roles, entered the workforce in droves. They took up positions in factories, shipyards, and offices, proving instrumental in meeting the demands of wartime production. The iconic image of Rosie the Riveter came to symbolize the strength and determination of women on the home front. The United States, through the Lend-Lease Act, provided vital aid to Great Britain, the Soviet Union, and other allied nations. This program, a lifeline of support, supplied our allies with the weapons, ammunition, and food they desperately needed to continue the fight against the Axis powers. The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, while a devastating blow, awakened a sleeping giant. The United States Navy, though initially reeling from the surprise assault, was determined to avenge this act of aggression. The Pacific theater became a battleground of fierce naval engagements and island-hopping campaigns. The Battle of Midway, a decisive victory for the US Navy, proved to be a turning point in the Pacific War. American code breakers, having cracked the Japanese naval code, gave Admiral Chester Nimitz the advantage he needed to deliver a crushing defeat to the Japanese fleet. Island hopping, a grueling campaign of capturing strategically important islands, brought the fight closer to the Japanese mainland. Battles like Iwo Jima and Okinawa were marked by fierce fighting and heavy casualties, but they demonstrated the unwavering commitment of American forces to achieving victory. The Pacific War was a different kind of conflict, characterized by vast distances, challenging terrain, and a relentless enemy. American soldiers, sailors, and Marines displayed extraordinary courage and resilience in the face of these daunting challenges. While the war raged in the Pacific, the Allied forces were locked in a life-or-death struggle against Nazi Germany in Europe. Operation Overlord, the daring invasion of Normandy, France, was a pivotal moment in the war. On June 6, 1944, known as D-Day, American, British and Canadian troops stormed the beaches of Normandy, facing fierce resistance from the German defenders. The bravery and sacrifice of the Allied soldiers on that fateful day broke the back of the German army in Western Europe. It paved the way for the liberation of France and the eventual march toward Berlin. The Battle of the Bulge, a desperate German counteroffensive, tested the resolve of the Allied forces. Despite heavy losses and harsh winter conditions, the Allies held their ground, ultimately repelling the German advance and hastening the end of the war in Europe. From the air, American and British bombers pounded German industrial centers and military installations, crippling their ability to wage war. The strategic bombing campaign, though controversial, played a significant role in weakening the Nazi war machine. Section 5. The economic engine of victory. The United States' ability to produce vast quantities of war materials was a decisive factor in the Allied victory. American factories churned out tanks, planes, ships and ammunition at an unprecedented rate, supplying not only American forces but also those of our allies. The nation's workforce, bolstered by the influx of women into previously male-dominated industries, worked tirelessly to meet the demands of wartime production. The home front became a vital part of the war effort, with Americans rationing food, gasoline and other essential goods to support the troops overseas. The government, under President Roosevelt's leadership, implemented economic policies designed to finance the war effort and ensure a steady supply of resources. War bonds were sold to the public, raising billions of dollars to fund the war. The American economy, once mired in the Great Depression, was revitalized by the war effort. The demand for war materials created jobs and boosted industrial production. Section 6. Leadership in the Crucible of War. The outcome of World War II hinged not only on military might but also on the leadership of key individuals who guided their nations through this tumultuous period. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, with his unwavering optimism and commitment to Allied victory, provided steadfast leadership throughout the war. Roosevelt's ability to rally the American people, inspiring them to make sacrifices on the home front and support the war effort, was crucial to the Allied victory. His wartime partnership with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, forged in the face of a common enemy, proved to be a formidable force in shaping the Allied strategy. On the battlefield, brilliant military commanders like General Dwight D. Eisenhower in Europe and General Douglas MacArthur in the Pacific led Allied forces to victory. Their strategic acumen and ability to inspire their troops were essential to overcoming the challenges of war. The war effort also witnessed the rise of unsung heroes, individuals who displayed extraordinary courage and leadership in the most trying of circumstances. Their stories serve as a testament to the human capacity for resilience and determination in the face of adversity. Section 7. The Home Front, a Nation Mobilized. The American home front played a vital role in securing victory in World War II. From factory workers to farmers, from housewives to school children, Americans from all walks of life contributed to the war effort. Rationing became a way of life as Americans conserved food, gasoline, and other essential goods to support the troops overseas. Victory gardens sprouted up in backyards and vacant lots, providing fresh produce for families and communities. Scrap metal drives, war bond rallies, and other patriotic efforts united Americans in a common cause. Propaganda posters urged citizens to do their part, reminding them that every contribution, no matter how small, brought the nation closer to victory. The war effort brought about significant social changes as women entered the workforce in record numbers, challenging traditional gender roles. African Americans, despite facing continued discrimination, contributed significantly to the war effort, serving with distinction in the armed forces and in vital industries on the home front. Section 8. The Price of Victory, the Promise of Peace. The victory in World War II came at a tremendous cost. Millions of lives were lost and countless others were forever scarred by the horrors of war. The United States, though spared the physical devastation that ravaged Europe and Asia, mourned the loss of over 400,000 American service members who made the ultimate sacrifice. The war's end brought a mix of emotions, relief, jubilation, but also a profound sense of loss and a recognition of the long road to recovery that lay ahead. The world had been forever changed by the conflict, and the United States emerged from the war as a global superpower, bearing the responsibility of shaping the post-war order. The war had tested the nation's resolve, but it had also revealed its extraordinary capacity for unity, resilience, and sacrifice. The legacy of World War II would continue to shape American society for generations to come, serving as a reminder of the importance of defending freedom and democracy against tyranny. The war also gave rise to new international institutions, such as the United Nations, dedicated to preventing future conflicts and fostering global cooperation. The hope was that the lessons learned from the war would pave the way for a more peaceful and just world. Section 9. an enduring legacy. The United States' victory in World War II was a watershed moment in the nation's history. It reshaped the global order, establishing the United States as a superpower and ushering in an era of unprecedented prosperity and technological advancement. The war effort also had a profound impact on American society, fostering a sense of national unity and purpose, while also accelerating social and economic changes that continue to resonate today. The war's legacy is a complex one, marked by both triumph and tragedy. It serves as a reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked aggression, the importance of international cooperation, and the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome even the most daunting challenges. As we reflect on the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II, it is essential to remember the sacrifices made by those who fought for freedom, both on the battlefields and on the home front. Their courage and determination serve as an inspiration to future generations, reminding us of the importance of safeguarding democracy and upholding the values of freedom, justice, and human dignity. The lessons learned from this pivotal chapter in human history continue to shape our world today, reminding us that the pursuit of peace and understanding remains as urgent as ever.